My brother and I started a company in our parents' garage with $5,000. 10 years later, it was worth $2.3 billion. We were best friends, partners, and each other's biggest supporters. Then one morning, I walked into the office and security wouldn't let me in. My key card was deactivated. My email was shut down. And my own brother was standing in the lobby with a lawyer, saying, "You're no longer with the company. You need to leave. I'm Alex Rivera. And this is the story of how my younger brother, the person I sacrificed everything for, stole the company we built together and left me with nothing." Subscribe, because this story will show you that sometimes the people who know you best know exactly how to destroy you. Growing up, it was always me and Ryan against the world. Our parents worked 3 jobs between them just to keep food on the table. I'm 5 years older, so I basically raised Ryan while Mom and Dad were working. I tutored him through school. When he got bullied in middle school, I taught him to stand up for himself. When he wanted to go to college but we had no money, I worked 2 jobs and took out loans so he could go to MIT. Ryan was brilliant, like genuinely gifted. He could code before he could drive. While other kids were playing video games, Ryan was building them. After he graduated in 2013, he came to me with an idea. A software platform that would revolutionize how small businesses manage inventory and supply chains. It was genius, but he needed help building the business side. "Alex, you always believed in me," he said. "Let's do this together. 50-50 partners. You handle business, I handle tech." I believed in him. More than that, I believed in us. So I quit my stable job in finance, emptied my savings, and we started Rivera Technologies in our parents' garage. Those first 2 years were brutal. We were broke, stressed, and constantly on the verge of giving up. But we had each other. Every all-nighter, every failed pitch, every setback. We faced it together. "We're going to make it, Alex," Ryan would say when things looked hopeless. "I promise you, we're going to make it." And we did. In 2015, we landed our first major client. Then another. Then 10 more. By 2017, we had venture capital knocking on our door. We raised $20 million in series of funding. By 2020, Rivera Technologies was valued at $500 million. Ryan and I each owned 40% of the company. We'd given up 20% to investors. We were millionaires on paper. But Ryan changed. Success changed him. He started making decisions without consulting me. He'd dismiss my input in meetings. When I'd bring up concerns, he'd say, "Trust me, Alex. I know what I'm doing." I chalked it up to stress. We were growing fast, scaling rapidly. I figured he was just overwhelmed. I should have paid closer attention. In late 2022, Ryan came to me with a proposal. "Alex, we need to restructure the company. We're going public in 2 years, and the board wants clearer leadership hierarchy." "Okay," I said. "What are you thinking?" "I become CEO. You become president of operations. We're still partners, still equals. It's just titles for the investors." It made sense. Ryan was the tech visionary. I handled operations. The titles reflected our roles. "Sure," I said. "As long as we're still 50-50 on decisions." "Of course," Ryan said, putting his hand on my shoulder. "You're my brother. Nothing changes that." I signed the papers without reading them carefully. Why would I? This was Ryan, my little brother, the kid I raised, the partner I'd sacrificed everything for. Big mistake. Over the next year, Ryan started slowly pushing me out. He'd schedule executive meetings without telling me. He'd make strategic decisions and inform me after the fact. When I confronted him, he'd say, "As CEO, I have to move fast. I can't wait for approval on everything." "But we're partners," I'd remind him. "And you're doing a great job with operations," he'd say. "Let me handle strategy." I watched him hire new executives, all his people loyal to him. I watched him charm investors, board members, journalists. Everyone loved Ryan, the brilliant young CEO, the tech prodigy. And I was becoming irrelevant. In early 2024, Ryan announced we'd received an acquisition offer from Tech Giant Corp for $2.3 billion. The board was excited. The investors were thrilled. I should have been ecstatic. My 40% stake would be worth $920 million. But something felt wrong. Ryan, we need to discuss this, I said. This is huge. We should evaluate it together. I already did, he said. It's a good offer. We should take it. But, Alex, trust me. This is what's best for everyone. That phrase, trust me. He'd been saying it for 2 years, and I'd been trusting him. I decided to finally read the restructuring documents I'd signed 2 years earlier. Really read them. That's when I saw it. Buried in the restructuring agreement was a clause I'd completely missed. It stated that in the event of an acquisition, the CEO would have final authority over sale terms and distribution of proceeds, subject to fiduciary duty to maximize shareholder value. In normal language, Ryan could decide how the acquisition money got distributed. But there was more. Another clause stated that equity stakes could be revalued based on contribution metrics, as determined by the board of directors. I called our corporate lawyer. Not the firm Ryan had hired, our original lawyer, the guy who'd been with us since the beginning. Tom, what does this clause mean? Can they actually revalue my equity? There was a long pause. Alex, have you been attending board meetings? Ryan stopped inviting me 6 months ago. He said it was more efficient with a smaller group. Alex, the board voted 3 months ago to restructure equity stakes. They determined that as CEO and primary technical innovator, Ryan's contribution warranted 65% ownership. Your stake was reduced to 15%. The remaining 20% stayed with investors. The room spun. That's not possible. I never agreed to that. According to the meeting minutes, you were invited and didn't attend. Your absence was counted as abstention, and the measure passed with majority board approval. I was never invited to that meeting. Alex, I'm looking at the email chain. It shows an invitation was sent to your company email and marked as read. Ryan had access to my email. He'd set up the IT infrastructure. He could see everything, delete anything. He'd sent himself an invitation from my email, marked it as read, and used my absence to steal my company. I immediately contacted a lawyer specializing in corporate fraud. Her name was Jennifer Park, and after reviewing my documents, she looked at me with pity. Mr. Rivera, this is going to be very difficult to prove. Your brother was extremely careful. Every action he took was technically legal, just deeply unethical. So I have no recourse? We can fight it, but it'll cost millions in legal fees, take years, and there's no guarantee we'll win. And if the acquisition goes through while we're litigating, it complicates everything. I had one option: confront Ryan directly. I walked into Ryan's office without knocking. He was on his laptop, probably closing the acquisition deal that would make him a billionaire and leave me with scraps. We need to talk. He looked up, and for just a second, I saw guilt flash across his face. Then it was gone. Alex, hey, what's up? You stole my company. He sighed and closed his laptop. I didn't steal anything, Alex. I built this company. Me, my code, my vision, my innovation. We built it. Together. I sacrificed everything for you. You invested in me? Ryan interrupted, his voice cold. You saw my talent and you made a smart investment. And you were compensated fairly for that investment. But let's be honest, Alex. You're not essential to this company. You never were. I felt like I'd been punched. How can you say that? I'm your brother. I raised you. I put you through college. And I'm grateful, Ryan said, standing up. I really am. That's why I'm not leaving you with nothing. After the acquisition, your 15% stake will be worth about $345 million. That's more money than you ever dreamed of growing up. It should be $920 million. It should be my company too. Ryan walked around his desk, standing inches from me. But it's not. It's my company. I'm the CEO. I'm the one who made the hard decisions while you played it safe. I'm the one investors believe in. I'm the face of Rivera Technologies. I'm the one who believed in you when nobody else did. And I've paid you back 100 times over, Ryan said. Take the $345 million and be grateful, Alex. Most people never see that kind of money in their lifetime. You're not the person I thought you were. Ryan's face softened for just a moment. No, Alex. I'm exactly who I've always been. You just never wanted to see it. You wanted me to stay your little brother forever, dependent on you, grateful to you. But I outgrew you years ago. I walked out of his office and never went back. Jennifer, my lawyer, laid out my options. We can sue. Claim fraud, breach of fiduciary duty, manipulation. It'll be a years-long battle. You'll spend millions in legal fees. The media will destroy your relationship publicly. And even if we win, Ryan's lawyers will appeal. The acquisition will be delayed, possibly canceled. The company could be destroyed. Or you take the $345 million. You walk away. You accept that sometimes brilliant people are also terrible people, and there's nothing you can do about it. I thought about our parents. They were so proud of both of us. If I sued Ryan, it would tear the family apart. My mother's heart would break. I thought about the 300 employees at Rivera Technologies who would lose their jobs if the acquisition fell through because of a public lawsuit. I thought about what I really wanted, justice or peace. I took the money. The acquisition closed in June 2024. Ryan became a billionaire. I became worth $345 million, which, after taxes and legal fees, came to about $200 million. I see Ryan at family gatherings. He's polite, distant. He bought our parents a house. He donates to charity. Everyone thinks he's wonderful. Only I know the truth about who he really is. You know what the worst part is? I still love him. He's still my little brother. The kid I taught to ride a bike. The teenager I helped with homework. The young man whose dreams I believed in. But I also know that person doesn't exist anymore. Or maybe he never existed at all. I've started a new company. A nonprofit that helps protect founders from exactly what happened to me. I teach people about equity structures, corporate governance, and how to safeguard their interests even with people they trust. Because here's what I learned. Trust and verification aren't opposites. They're partners. You can love someone and still protect yourself. You can believe in someone and still read the fine print. My parents ask me all the time, "Why don't you and Ryan talk anymore? You were so close." I just say we grew apart. I don't tell them what he did. They're old. They're proud of both their sons. Why ruin that for them? But late at night, I wonder, if I could go back, would I still help Ryan? Would I still sacrifice everything to put him through MIT? Would I still start that company with him in our parents' garage? Honestly, I don't know. Because without all that sacrifice, all that trust, all that belief, he wouldn't be a billionaire. But neither would he be the person who betrayed me. I'm Alex Rivera. My brother stole the company we built together and became a billionaire while I walked away with a fraction of what I deserved. Here's what I want you to remember. Success changes people. Sometimes it reveals who they always were. Sometimes it transforms them into someone new. Either way, protect yourself. Read every document. Attend every meeting. Question every decision. Not because you don't trust people, but because trust without accountability is just naivety. And if you're building something with someone you love, whether it's family, friends, or partners, put everything in writing. Clear terms, clear expectations, clear consequences. Love is beautiful, but protecting yourself isn't a betrayal of love. It's common sense. If the story resonated with you, subscribe and share it. And if you're in business with someone you love, go read your contracts. Right now. I'll wait. I'm Alex Rivera. Thank you for listening.